Hello, welcome to Family Law on Court. I'm Sarah Hink, one of the partners here at New Direction Family Law, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. Oftentimes we have people relevant to the practice of family law, either like a private investigator or we speak on a topic of family law, and today we're going to go out into the community and focus today's Family Law on Court on a wonderful community organization here that I hope everyone is ready to learn about and give to, if you're suited to give to this organization. Joining me today is Brace Boone. He is the Executive Director of the Women's Center that is here in Raleigh. And so you know, we also have our consultation for calls this month, and what that means is we give a portion of the consultation costs to an organization, and this month we're giving it to the Women's Center, and we're happy to do that.
Thank you.
And you're going to learn why and how they're so great today. So just a reminder to do that. And also, this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and while not specifically just domestic violence focused, the Women's Center, it does definitely come into play with a lot of people that are helped by the Women's Center and that come through those doors looking for help in the community. So as always, be aware of domestic violence, and when you see something, say something, help a friend out, and connect them with resources here in the community, which one of them might be the Women's Center. So Brace, why don't you go ahead and tell us what's the purpose and the goal of the Women's Center?
Well, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for having me and by having me here, bringing awareness to the Women's Center and what we do in the community for a very vulnerable and marginalized population of women. So the Women's Center is a low barrier entry facility, crisis and assessment center that works with really the most marginalized and vulnerable women in our community, women that are experiencing homelessness, but also that have a profound amount of mental health and trauma woven into their stories and journeys when they get to us.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of services does someone expect to receive when they come into the doors of the Women's Center?
Sure. So we do all types of case management. We do clinical work with them, primary health care, behavioral health care, mental health. We do a variety of critical basic needs, food, transportation, medical co-pays. We work with a variety of partners to bring services to the women directly at the Women's Center, as well as then working with partners where they will go to them from the Women's Center. We're open 365 days a year doing this type of, I think, necessary work.
That's great. So a typical person that comes, is there any kind of intake that you have to classify by, or is it walk-in? What can I do for you? What do you need today?
Sure. So we meet the women really where they're at, and that's one of the things we pride ourselves on doing, and we meet them in real time. So if they present, they can come to the Women's Center, and when we're open, we don't need appointments, we don't need referrals, anything like that. They come and they'll do an intake within an hour of being there. So that intake process will start the ball rolling of hopefully they will work with us. It's very relationship based, built on trust between the woman we're seeing and the staff members, the frontline staff at the Women's Center. So.
Yeah. Well, great. And I mentioned before domestic violence being something that a lot of women experience, whether it happens to women who are very wealthy and those that are very poor, and those who can afford to get themselves out of situations. It's easier, still hard. But give us a little bit about the background of a lot of women that come to the Women's Center for help, and your typical, if you do have a typical case for someone to help.
So the majority of the women that come to the Women's Center are experiencing homelessness. Some may have found themselves fairly new to being homeless, and some may be, or they could be chronically homeless, and everywhere in between. A profound amount will have a certain amount or maybe a severe amount of mental health issues that they're grappling with. Over 90% of the women that present with us have been sexually assaulted at some point in their life, 18 years ago, 8 months ago, 8 days ago, maybe a combination of between those. They may be fleeing domestic situations or partner situations, and then those with domestic violence and that type of trauma is just a such a tremendous force in a negative way in a woman's life that
It starts
really,
a cycle.
It starts a cycle, and it's a major contributor to homelessness
Yeah.
at some point in their life.
And of course, I think a lot of people don't think about homelessness, and they don't see people on the streets, or you turn your head away. But if you think about a woman ends up on the street, how vulnerable she is to, sexual assaults, physical assaults. I mean, she's just out there not protected. And if she's battling a mental health issue or some kind of addiction, that just makes it even more likely that this is going to happen. So obviously, Women's Center can help women like that.
You're right. With the factors that you just mentioned, it can be a perfect storm. They're vulnerable. They're tired. They've got, a lot of them have some medical issues as well. Certainly with that life, medical issues do arise, and then with the trauma, and then being out in the open and exposed, they become
Easy targets.
That's right. There's a lot of bad actors. There's predators on all different scales that are looking for women.
Right. So what can the Women's Center do to help a woman with housing? Is there any resources out there to connect them with safe housing?
Sure. Well, one of the things that we're really excited about that we rolled out after several months planning, many months planning, and to get it to where it is now, is we rolled out community-based intensive permanent supportive housing. So that is housing that is working with this very vulnerable population. It's housing that is in close proximity to the Women's Center, so within walking distance, and I mean, within a few blocks walking distance. We do wellness checks. We work a specific program with these women, providing the clinical, the case management, behavioral health, the mental health, and then working with them as they come back to the Women's Center for appointments and checkups and the things they need to do on a weekly and often daily basis. So it's pretty much, I think we're the vanguard in the community in the Triangle doing this. Now, we may not have invented that wheel nationwide, but certainly what we're doing with this specific population is not out there right now.
Right. So, there's a lot of talk of affordable housing. Is that something else that you see impacting the people that you've been helping? And, what can we do in the community to recognize that and help people in their status?
Yeah, affordable housing, that's a big subject. And that's a term that we hear more and more just about in every metropolis these days across the United States. Certainly affordable housing and those factors contribute to the homeless population. Often, by and large, our women that are coming to us are a certain swath or segment of the population, like I said, that is a very vulnerable, that has the mental health, the mental trauma. Unfortunately, there's no shortage of these women. The good part about it is the Women's Center is here, and certainly what we're doing and what we've been revamping and retooling the organization these past 20 months to meet this growing need in these women in our community. So
has there been an increase lately in the amount of women that are coming to you for help? Is there any kind of change in that in the last year or two?
So we've seen a 49% increase in the amount of women we serve. Last 18, as compared to 17-18 to then 18-19, we've had a 49% increase in the amount of women we serve. So on average, we're going to serve 230 to 260-ish, mid-30s, mid-60s, unique and different women a month, and we have about approximately 50 different women that'll come through our doors at some point during the day seeking a variety of services.
So how about children? Is there an age range, or do families present themselves together?
One of the ways we do work with children is we have a 10-unit apartment complex, Oak Hollow. So we serve families that were homeless. That's a permanent supportive housing model as well too. And we used that model and then did some tweaking to serve the single women at our units that have come online this October. But that deals with family units, and so they were homeless, and then a family member has a severe disability. So it could be a variety of mental health, it could be a child with severe autism, or both. So we work with children that way. Often the women, when they come to us, the children are, many have children, but they're not in their immediate sphere.
Okay.
They may be with
Not their
family,
care.
child protective services, some other type of guardianship there.
Right.
Women do present with children, but then we'll work with a partner organization to wrap around the services
Great.
there.
So there are partnership organizations in the community as well, helping?
Sure, we have some good solid partners. Advanced Community Medical Health is on site weekly, providing primary health care. They do some behavioral health care. We work with CSERC, with the Community Counseling Education Resource Center. That's part of NC State. They do counseling in our building. Great thing about an organization like CSERC is while the women can have clinical work and case management, we do about 350, 380 hours of case management, intensive case management a month, and that doesn't include what peer support specialists and other staff do with that. But with different partners like that, they can feel safe in counseling with an organization and kind of that'll protect their anonymity. They're very the women we serve they have become in a lot of ways very isolated and insular.
Right.
So
And trust, I'm sure, is hard
that's
to
right.
accomplish with those relationships as well.
We have, we provide dental work through a dentist office that wants to remain anonymous. We do some pro bono legal work. We do job placement and job sourcing with a few employers throughout the area. Just really a variety of opportunities for the women to engage.
And I'm sure there's some good success stories out there.
We measure success in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And success with our women, it's going to be, are they on the track to sobriety? Are they engaged with a mental health professional? Are they re-engaged? Many of the women often may have teams already assigned to them, a McKinney team or an Easter Seals team, and it's being the interface between those teams and the women that we serve to get the services they need. We work with MedAssist on getting the best prescriptions at the best price. All of our services are free of charge. We cover all co-pays. We finance a lot of transportation needs for our clients, as well as bridge financing for bills and down payments at our Oak Hollow apartment complex too.
Great. So if someone's watching today and they're learning about the Women's Center, what can they do? What are you looking for from the greater community in Raleigh and in the Triangle to help support you?
And we actually did have a viewer that had a question of, do you guys have volunteers? And if so, what are the age requirements?
So that's a good question, and we'll answer that one too on this. We like people to be involved, time, talent, and treasure. We really want them to be a relationship with the Women's Center, that they feel passionate about what we do. So there's volunteer opportunities which are online, and those list some, and I do want to say, especially this person that wants to volunteer, just because it's not online doesn't mean that we don't do it or want to do it. So we have volunteers that do meditation, yoga, art, book club, some that bring in fellowship, Bible studies. We do AA groups, things like that. Online, you'll primarily see that for the donations and the food. We serve over 2,300 meals a month. I can only imagine this caller may be wanting to bring in children, so what I would encourage her to do is, they have to be accompanied by an adult, but our volunteer coordinator, Jerry Carter, can line her up and get her.
I think it's a gentleman and his daughter. They're looking for a place to volunteer. So yeah.
So we have families and we have parents that bring their kids in all the time. We just had a church, Christ Church, who's a supporter, and they had many kids in this week serving on lunch.
And thanks
Great.
to that person chiming in, it's always great to get out in the community and help support these organizations that you otherwise might not think about or know that they exist. And the Women's Center is actually just down the street from our office here, so it's in Hillsborough Street, Raleigh area.
That's right.
Mhm.
We're right in the thick of things. A lot of action. We're centrally located. The women can get to us easily. We're on a bus route. We do like volunteers. We always encourage people to come and take a tour. So I'm always happy to tour and meet with people and show them around and talk about what we do.
Yeah, and Jen, the voice from back there chiming in. Jen and I went and took the tour, and it really is an amazing place. And I love the rooms that are dedicated to just giving these women a place to be quiet and rest and not on the street and hearing the cars and everything on the street that's accompanied with city noises, just giving them that space to have the lights dimmed and relax for a minute. That seems very nice and needed.
That's right. So women can kind of work with us and do deep dives, so to speak, on the issues we've talked about or the services. But we also offer a facility where women can come and just be. They can relax, they can rest. There's a tremendous amount of stress, and the women get worn down. I can't imagine sleeping outside under those conditions being a woman, but just the amount of fatigue and mental fatigue,
Yeah.
it gives them a safe place during the day to rest and relax and sleep as well.
And also just be seen by people other than their normal everyday that they see on the streets. I mean, just to come and be heard and be seen and feel like they exist and they're deserving of this quiet space and they're deserving of these services that are being offered and supported by the community. So that really is great for all of them.
That's well put, Sarah. And that's so, to touch on what I think mentioned earlier, our women often can become insular and they become isolated and they feel marginalized and they feel away from maybe the rest of society in a lot of regards. So when they come there, they're really met with a smile and kindness, and is on an equal footing that we're here for them. We recognize them as women and human beings, and that they're very valued and cherished at the Women's Center.
Yeah. And they deserve kindness. Everyone deserves kindness out there. So
that's what we lead with.
Right.
The face of kindness.
Yes,
So.
I love that. So thank you for being here today. Is there any more questions out there, Jen?
Nope.
Hopefully we covered at least the basics of what you need to know about the Women's Center. And obviously there's a website. What's the website for the Women's Center?
The website is wcwc.org. People, we'd love to hear from you. Come and take a tour. If there's anything you want to know or that's piqued your interest, please do reach out to me, get in touch. My contact information is on the website.
Okay, great.
So.
And we'll put it out there too for everyone that's watching here.
Right.
Yeah, and as I stated before, it's consultation for a cause, so if you need legal services, it's a good time to come in and have a portion of your consultation fee donated to this wonderful organization. So we encourage you to do that if this is the time that you're seeking legal help in the family law world. And we look forward to seeing some of y'all out there in the community helping us support these organizations. Volunteer, if not the Women's Center, somewhere. Give back to the community. It's a great thing to do, and there's definitely people out there that deserve it. So thank you for chiming in today, and we'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you for having us.